One day while scrolling through Amazon trying to find a Transformers toy that my friend MrLoubat had previously gotten, I stumbled upon a very nice looking Optimus Prime figure. This would soon become my first leader class figure as well as my first time getting an Optimus Prime toy. I'm talking about the Transformers Legacy United Leader Class G2 Universe Laser Optimus Prime. Let's start off with the robot mode, shall we? The bright red on this figure is probably one of my favourite colours on this toy as it contrasts so well with the gunmetal silver, grey, yellow, black and blue colours we find on this toy. However, I would say that there is a lot more silver and grey colours on this robot mode in comparison to other Optimus Prime toys, but the head itself is iconic enough to identify him, so it's not that bad in my opinion. Speaking of the head mold, I really enjoy the helmet on this character and the bright blue that pretty much takes up all the head. I also think the gunmetal silver hair works well with the bright blue, and the light piping for the eyes is pretty cool. Posing the head at first was really hard to do as it appeared to be extremely stiff when moving it left or right, but a quick handling with MrLoubat and the head now appears to be perfectly fine. One thing I'll say about posing the head is the really bulky shoulder pads that pretty much block his view left and right, but hey, at least these can flip up to reveal rockets you can't shoot. Moving on to the figure's posing and articulation. The head can move a solid 360 degrees, the shoulder pad flaps can flip up to reveal the rockets, the arms can move about 90 degrees forward and 90 degrees back, limited by the shoulder pads. The elbows can move forward halfway, and the hands can move around 360 degrees. The legs can move forward and back 90 degrees, and the knees pivot back pretty decently, leaving the ankle pivot to be pretty decent. The waist swivel on this guy sits just right with me, and the back is barely even noticeable to me. Before we move on to transforming him into truck mode, let's talk about his truck's bat bit. It transforms pretty nicely into a battle station where you can store his two accessories, his sword, and this thing. The plastic on the sword and thing are pretty durable, being transparent plastic, which I've had problems with before. And the battle station, I don't really have anything to say about it, it's cool. Oh, and you can remove the turret and put it on Optimus Prime. Let's move on to the transformation into the alt mode. I think this transformation is pretty standard for most Optimus Prime toys. I think my favourite part of the transforming is when it all comes together in the end to create his truck mode. I believe my main issues with this transformation is that one of my mold's steps doesn't really tab in due to a mold problem, which shouldn't be for everyone, it's just for my unlucky ass. The actual truck mode is amazing. I really do enjoy the flame decoration on the front of the hood. The exhaust pipes are cool and it all comes together nicely. However, one of the steps for the truck mode is flipping these up to make what I would assume to be gas tanks or some kind of liquid tanks. These are annoying as they can be quite loose and I just don't bother with them most of the time. Of course, I'm talking a lot about this particular coloration, but another iteration of this character would be the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Scourge, which I don't have, but my good friend MrLoubat does.
Velocitron Speedia 500 Scourge, a repaint of the Legacy Laser Prime mold, is easily one of my favourite figures that I got from the year 2021, and I am not afraid to say that is 100% due to the deco. Because the Laser Prime mold is just okay, I think. And that's coming from somebody who's bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 Optimus Primes this year, so it's safe to say my self-proclaimed expert on Optimus Prime quality. It's a fun mold, don't get me wrong, I like the transformation, I like the look of the alt and robot modes, but the shoulders having a weird detent, not really being too proportionate with the shoulder pylons, it drags them down just a little bit, but with a deep black and a rich gunmetal, beautiful metallic teal, and all of this pink transparent plastic which practically glows. It can kind of make up for it. You know, some people did have very big issues with the colour scheme on this guy when he first came out. You know, it's not hard looking at him to realise that this is not an RID 2001 Scourge, this is just a Nemesis Prime version of Laser Prime. But that's okay in my books, because he stands alone and he stands well. Is it the definitive version of that design? Not by any means necessary. But is it a good evergreen truck Scourge? Absolutely. But don't expect him to go head to head with HasLab Omega Prime very well. That thing could sit on this guy. Anyway, chambolism, thanks for having me. And all you kids in the audience, stream depression and
Thank you MrLoubat for telling us about Velocitron Scourge. First time I laid eyes on that Scourge, I knew I wanted it, and badly. Moving on, this mold is a love in my books. I know that it has its problems, but so do I. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about it for now. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it's very much different. I've done something like this before on my old second channel now, but I thought I wanted to move some content ideas over to chambolism and make chambolism the main hub for all this stuff now. So every now and then I will be doing a review like this just to kind of practice and whatnot. And yeah, bye bye.